Welcome back. The topic today on Daybreak is the state of devolution, and lots of questions coming in. Keep them coming. 2242 is the SMS line. The hashtag is Daybreak. Let us know what your thoughts are to the governors that we have in studio. The governor of Bungoma County, Wycliffe Wangamati, and the governor of Tana River, Major Retired Dr. Dado Godana, who have been with us for this conversation. And Governor Godana, let me just get your thoughts on the medical equipment leasing scheme, which I believe may have been signed by your predecessor, but you can just let us know, because a lot of governors have been complaining we were not consulted on this, and you know the court has now suspended payment for now. What are your thoughts?
I think we've spoken as Council of Governors on this. One thing is that it's just suspect. The fact that governors were not involved, and this is something that involved governors. Then after that, equipments were procured, and deduction is done at source. The whole thing hanging within the hands of national government, without the Council of Governors' involvement. And even after or during when it is happening, governors would keep on questioning and asking, why is this? How is this being done? All of a sudden, the figures have been exaggerated from the initial one to other figures. The whole question is suspect. And that's why the council decided they have no other option but to go the court option.
Even if the court, and it was a private citizen who went to the courts, even if the court decides that you should continue paying, the COG had said the payment should be frozen. Do you support that move? Do you say COG stick to that move?
Yes, we have to stick to that. Yes,
even if contracts were signed?
You see, these institutional challenges, which I was about to talk about as part of the challenges of counties, challenges that are vertical, challenges that are horizontal within institutions, within the county, those that are national and county, and now those that are actually within ministries and counties, is a big issue that has to be fought. It has to be gambled until it is squared. Otherwise, then we'll bring down this country. I have talked about this in some of my tours with the DP. Institutional challenges between one another, both vertical and horizontal, are causing problems. So we have to fight it.
Sorry for interrupting you. What is happening to the equipment that is in your county?
Some of them are useful.
Some of them are in use.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of them are still there. They have not yet been put to use.
At all, they've just been.
Yeah, some of them just stayed there. But the other challenge is then, in other places they don't need. In some places they need. In some places, but overall, the cost of them, I think, does not match what we know.
Okay. All right, Governor Wangamati, let's bring this down for even the common Mwananchi to sort of understand the medical equipment saga. When you go shopping, one has the money as well as a shopping list so you can know what to buy. So when the county government, or rather when the national government said that they would go ahead and purchase equipments for different counties, wasn't there not research that was done under this county will need this equipment, this county will need this equipment, and so forth, and not just purchase medical equipment? So who slept on their job?
I'm not so sure what happened, because I think quite a number of contracts, we are first-time governors, myself and
yes.
Most of these contracts were signed prior to the elections in 2017. But when you look at what is happening, it seems that was not done. The analysis that will then lead to what equipments are needed by which county.
Exactly.
I think that analysis, in my own view, from what I'm seeing, because I was not there at that time, I think was not done. Secondly, is that then we had a problem where equipment were purchased that are not needed for those counties. Thirdly, then you have also the issue, who is responsible for procurement of this equipment? I think the PFM Act is very clear. If something is being done or is needed by the counties, that procurement process needs to be done by the counties. Then that led to the problem, the biggest problem is that the cost of those equipments were almost 4 or 5 times than the actual cost. Okay? So you have then a fundamental problem there. The last, which I think Moro was talking about, even if we say we cannot pay, the problem is the money is being deducted at source.
At source.
So even if you don't want to pay,
It's not your choice.
it's not your choice.
It's a direct debit somewhere.
It's a direct debit from Treasury. So, those are the fundamental questions, and I think that is why, we do back the idea that we must go to court so that we have a clear interpretation.
So
in court.
is going to court the next solution, the next step, because then again, those equipments will just sit somewhere and collect dust.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. But I think what is very important, because that we must ensure that we do not face a similar situation going forward, so that the national government doesn't wake up today and then
Makes
start.
decisions.
Yeah, because I think there was an idea of about purchasing some additional equipment, so we want to forestall that going forward.
There was an idea about purchasing. You heard? Was that a rumor?
Yeah.
Oh, a rumor somewhere. Oh my. Okay, my goodness.
So
Is there briefly? Is there any way to salvage this situation? The contracts might be drawing to a close, I believe, in terms of the amount of time the lease was signed for.
Yes, I think it's drawing to a close, but I think we just want to ensure that going forward we do not have a similar problem.
Don't have a similar situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did not allow you to weigh in on healthcare, which the EACC in a survey back in 2018, Governor Godana found that Kenyans are most concerned about departments of health across all counties that have been cited as the most corrupt. What are the challenges in Tana River, and do you agree with these findings that in healthcare is where major issues are within the counties?
Yes, of course. Governor Wangamati has talked about the issue of revenue collection. But just remember the other talks around the medical sector about drugs not being delivered to facilities. Sometimes drugs being diverted from facilities and sold out to clinics, and many other issues around there that the common person was not being able to access services as they were supposed to. So I'd agree with the report in totality, because those are things that any other Kenyan, most of us have gone through, where you go to hospital and there's no drug, you go where there's nobody, there's a lot of crazy issues around the health sector. So I would say also, no very known case, but similar cases like that of taxes, which we realized, especially between NHIF and counties that were not being properly accounted for. And those are some of the issues we have been trying to handle in county. The issue of now drugs being diverted is something that we have discussed so well, and we have shared examples between counties' experiences and how we have different counties have dealt with it. I don't think now in Tana is a bit of a challenge having drugs to go there, to go to private clinics. What we are doing now, I think it is in most counties, I don't know with Wangamati, but we said all the drugs that are procured by contractors should be stamped, so that it is known that this is Tana River County aspirin, this is Tana River County Panadol, this is Tana River County Malaria Queen.
So if you go to a private hospital,
then we go and find it there.
Yeah, you know you're dealing with stolen goods.
Yeah, we are dealing with stolen goods.
Well, Senator, even as we are here discussing wastage within counties, medical equipment being our example, your colleagues, senators, feel that they want to block cash to counties that are wasting all these equipments or other funding. Do you support this? Do you support the call for senators wanting to block cash to counties that are of waste?
Of course, I have said it's a conflict of interest.
Purely?
I said there are senators who want to be governors. There are people out there who want to support senators to do that, basically to try and paralyze some governors from moving forward, probably reducing the budget of Wangamati or whoever, so that he finds it difficult for him to deliver to his expectation, and then they would come and say, so-and-so failed to deliver, so now I'm the man who now will deliver. So it's all about politics. It's politics, purely politics.
Purely politics. Do you agree, Governor Wangamati? And I mean, the age-old question of he who accounts for little will be given more. You know, keeps coming back. And senators, he says it's politics, but the saying of a Caesar's wife must appear to be spotless. What more can be done for the counties to march towards that?
I think it's
reducing questions.
I think more it's important that we do appreciate a fundamental thing, that the agencies, the institutions that are supposed to deal with the issue of corruption or mismanagement of resources within national level and county level. And I think it is important that as a country we leave those agencies to deal with that, so that you know, hearing that senators want to block resources to go to certain counties, I think it doesn't make sense at all. I think if there's an issue in a county, we have a clear framework in this country to deal with those issues. If it's accountability, if it's corruption, if it's wasteful, I think we have institutions that can deal with it. But I can tell you, without any fear of contradiction, that as governors, we want to ensure that the resources we get are managed in a way that will then help the citizens of those counties to prosper. I think that perception that we are not very keen is not true. We are very, very keen to ensure that the resources are managed and managed in a way.
So you don't agree with the senators?
I don't agree with the senators.
I don't think they will ever agree with the senators on that.
We are losing something here.
Briefly, because we need to take a break, Governor.
Rome was not built in a day. This is the second stage we are in devolution. In the first governments, the Senate was very fond of these words, nurturing devolution. Nurturing devolution. I used to hear when I was not governor, then I was out. And then I would ask, what was it that informed them to say they are nurturing devolution? And what is it that now they find that is not necessary anymore to nurture devolution? The fact is there are challenges in counties that we need to build on. There are so many other conflicting issues that needs to be strengthened. The Senate should concentrate more on legal frameworks. You hear one time the chairman talking about the legal frameworks, that the absence of legal frameworks that would allow counties to be able to perform even better. And that is something that the Senate should concentrate more about. Over and above the general talk about corruption with governors and condemning devolution as it is, I think that is not a very prudent thing to do. Wangamati has just said that there are institutions responsible for that, including ourselves, because part of our job is to ensure that then we bring up counties in the manner that they are required. There are institutions that are still lacking in counties. In some counties, there are no establishments for structures, personnel, equipments, and all these are things that needs to be done gradually. We cannot just wake up 6 years down the line, 7 years down the line and say devolution now should be handled in this manner. I think we have to agree that we cannot be able to achieve 100% of county governments within the time that we have.
So yeah, give it time is what you're effectively saying. We had more challenges
in the first government. We have some of them have been addressed in this second
term. Yeah,
we are likely to see better in the third and fourth going forward.
So better prospects ahead. That's your promise to the
yeah, exactly. We have gone to countries to benchmark, Germany and other countries who have gone similar processes. They still have challenges.
Okay.
They would still tell you some of the issues that they are going through and tell us, don't go this direction, probably you need to go this direction, but truly it's not, I think we are trying to draw conclusions too fast. in a bad way.
Give it more time.
Yes.
Thank you. That's a good place to take a break. When we return, we'll take a look at your feedback. Some of you have asked specific questions to each of these governors, and we'll give them a chance to respond to them. 22422 is the SMS line. The hashtag is Daybreak. And this morning, we were asking what more can be done to strengthen devolution and to ensure development trickles down to the common Mwananchi. This coming in sort of at the same time as the headline of the Standard, which says a new bid to slash counties by half from 47 to 22 to save money. But remember, then again, counties receive what? Possibly 10% of the national budget. Could it be that the country also needs to take a look at the national government budget? Those are some of the issues we've been focusing on, and we'll...
Closing remarks, we'll get them from our guest, but after this commercial break.